Yeah. G20 nations have agreed to make united efforts to address major global economic challenges. The countries have affirmed to work together to foster global economic growth while harnessing the power of technological innovation, in particular digitization and its application for the benefits of all. In the final statement at the end of the two-day summit at Osaka in Japan, 19 members of the grouping, except the United States, agreed to the irreversibility of the Paris climate deal and pledged its full implementation. Briefing media, India's Sherpa Suresh Prabhu said India under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi played a very proactive, positive and forward role and raised various issues at the summit. He said India has been championing anti-corruption measures at the global level. Mr. Modi took part in the G20 session on quality infrastructure investment and development cooperation. He laid special emphasis on building a disaster-resilient future and invited member nations to join the international coalition on disaster-resilient infrastructure. At the third session of the G20 today, the Prime Minister emphasized on healthcare, including India's traditional healing measures, yoga and Ayushman Bharat. The Prime Minister took part in a special session on women empowerment. The session witnessed an in-depth dialogue on how to further empower women and work towards gender equality. Mr. Modi also held bilateral talks with the presidents of Turkey, Brazil, Indonesia and also his Australian counterpart, Scott Morrison. In his meeting with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the Prime Minister discussed the issues of expanding cooperation in trade and investment and defence sector. During his meeting with Indonesian President Joko Widodo, the two nations set a target of $50 billion for bilateral trade over the next 6 years. Mr. Modi also held wide-ranging talks with Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. The Prime Minister said in a tweet that the meeting with the Australian Prime Minister will add vigour to bilateral ties and lead to new areas of cooperation. Mr. Modi has since left for home after concluding his three-day visit to Japan. Home Minister Amit Shah has pitched for indigenous equipments to make India a leader in disaster response. He was addressing the annual conference on capacity building of state disaster response forces in consultation with Home Guards, Civil Defence and Fire Services in New Delhi today. Mr. Shah assured National Disaster Response Force and State Disaster Response Forces of all assistance from the centre to strengthen and upgrade the force. He asked the NDRF to collaborate with the DRDO to upgrade their equipment to make them indigenous in the next 5 years. The Home Minister said NDRF should have more expertise in the area of disaster response as India is a natural disaster-prone country. In Maharashtra, at least 15 people were killed after a compound wall collapsed at a construction site in Pune's Kondava area late last night. All 15 belonging to families of labourers were housed in temporary shelters built at the site near Talab Masjid. 3 persons were taken out alive and are being treated at a hospital for multiple serious injuries. The Chief Minister has predicted the Pune collector to conduct an in-depth inquiry. A compensation of 4 lakh rupees each to the next of kin of those killed has been announced from the National Disaster Relief Fund. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees each to the families of those killed. 50,000 rupees will be given to the injured and they will be treated free of cost. Mr. Kumar said 15 people who died are from Katihar district of Bihar. Torrential rains continue to lash Mumbai and its neighbouring areas for the second day today. The city received first heavy rain of the monsoon yesterday, which badly disrupted normal civic life. 2 persons died of electrocution in separate incidents in Thane district. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio tomorrow. It will be the first Mann Ki Baat program after Mr. Modi assumed office for the second term. Mr. Modi has been raising several important issues through the monthly program, which is aired on the last Sunday of every month at 11 a.m. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, Afghanistan have won the toss and opted to bat against Pakistan at Leeds. In the other game of the day, Australia will take on New Zealand at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time at London. India will play England tomorrow in their 7th round-robin game, and beating the hosts will take Virat Kohli and his company into the Final Four. And with that, we end this news bulletin.